Well, we're now setting off on the second leg of the trip to explore the reaches of river about 20 to 30 miles downstream of where we were on the last trip. Communications are expected to be a lot better because we've got road access all the way. It's a little bit more heavily populated. There should be a motorboat service to take us upstream and downstream as we wish. What I took from the first leg was that those upper reaches are really the spawning grounds. That's where the fish go during the monsoons to spawn, and hence it was chock-a-block full of small mahseer. But of course we're not really here to catch small mahseer, we're here to catch big mahseer. So hopefully we'll find a few in this second leg. So this is our boat finally arriving. Hired it for 6 days to fly us up and down the river. See, there's been some gold mining operations going on here. We've reached as far upstream as we're going to get in the motor launch. There's some shoals just around the corner there where we ran aground and couldn't get any further, so we decided to pitch camp here. I'm not really serious about fishing here because we found a load of dead mahseer at the tail of this pool where they've been dynamiting. In any event, I think I've already established it in these upper reaches, they're predominantly small mahseer and the bigger fish are way downstream. So tomorrow we're going to set off downstream and try and look for a promising confluence where clear waters from a tributary meet the muddy waters of the main Mali River. Pitch up there for a few days, see if we can do any good there. I've just been having a chat with the local fishermen who are camped across the river. We know they've been dynamiting the river because we've seen the evidence, we've seen all the dead fish which have been washed downstream, which they didn't manage to harvest. So I asked my guide if they would give me a demonstration. I said, I don't approve of this, but I'm simply interested to see how they live. And they've agreed to give me a demonstration. Like I say, this is obviously not strictly legal. It's also highly unethical. It's an unsustainable form of fishing. I'm not condoning it, but by publicising it, perhaps somebody in the Myanmar government will witness it and decide to pull the finger out the backside and do something about it. I certainly don't see it as my role to come up here as a well-heeled foreigner and start pontificating to these people about how they should live and how they should harvest fish. I can make my views known tactfully, but that's as far as I'm prepared to go with it. They've agreed to let me film them do it, so what you're seeing is not something that sits terribly easily with me. However, I do feel that by publicising it I can probably do more good than harm, and that's the motivation for the film you're about to see. So this is the dynamite?
Yeah, dynamite.
And how much does the dynamite cost?
Dynamite is how much? ဒီထက်ဟာ
ဒါရံ
အရန်အဲ့ဒါဒီက
ဒါကဲကွဲတဲ့ဟာတော့ဒီကောင်နဲ့ပဲကွဲ
ဟုတ်
တာ
ဟုတ်ပြီအဲ့ဒါဒီကကိုကျွန်တော်မေးတာဘယ်လောက်လဲဒီကဘယ်လောက်လို့ဖြီလဲလို့
သူတို့2000ပေးပါလို့ပြောတယ်
အခုပေးရမှာကျွန်တော်တို့ तू ကကြည့်ပဲကြည့်နေတာကိုကဝယ်ပါမဟုတ်ဘူး
သူတို့ကငါးရှိမှခွဲမယ်လို့ပြောတာဟုတ်
that they said we need to bind it
Sorry?
we need to bind this one if you see yeah
သူလည်းငါးချဖို့ဒီနှစ်ချက်ပဲရှိတယ်တဲ့အဲ့ဒါငါကောင်းမှုကြည့်ပြီး
But how much?
how much တော့
ခွဲမယ်တဲ့
2000လား2000လား2000လား2000လား
2000တဲ့
2000 oh 20,000 jet very expensive 20,000
အနည်းဆုံး
20,000
yeah
So that's $25 US.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the fuse, how much does the fuse cost?
Is including with the fuse or only
oh, only
including with the fuse?
yeah
20,000?
everything
Everything 20,000.
yes 20,000
Because what I had been told is that the most expensive part of this is the fuse. And so they
depend hit
they try and make the fuse as short as possible because that's the most expensive part, and you can always tell an old dynamiter because he's lost his fingers because he has a short fuse. I don't think I'm prepared to pay.
you can take a photograph
Yeah, I
that's
have. Yeah.
it's okay
Yeah, I am not prepared to pay
yeah
$25 US
just have a look okay
for them to throw a stick of dynamite into the river. I would be interested to watch them doing it, but I am not prepared to pay because I think that is encouraging them,
yeah I'm sure
and this is not really
yeah sure
a correct way
Yeah.
of fishing. Okay,
that's why you take a photograph so like that after that I will go back
Okay,
that's good
all right. Right.
that at the time one time and they can get so many fish
Yeah.
that's why they want to make sure
Yeah. 20,000 chick is a lot of money. I mean,
Yeah,
$25 US.
I feel the same way like you that's a very expensive
Sorry.
that is very expensive
Yeah.
sure
Yeah, you spend $25 US on the dynamite.
and right
You've got to get at least $50 US worth of fish,
yeah
which is a lot of fish.
lot of fish.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so it seems we're not going to get a demonstration after all because the dynamite costs too much money. They're not prepared to spend it on a demonstration purely for me unless they can see there's lots of fish there. This is the first sort of big water location that I had in mind. It's the confluence of the Namlang River coming in this way and the Mari River flowing down this way. And you can see it's absolutely huge. And fishing it presents a particular set of problems. I've got a big old chunky spoon on at the moment. We'll just have to see how we get on. I think bait fishing is out of the question, except possibly at the tail of the white water down there. There's another big junction about 10 miles further down the stream. I forget the name of the tributary, but it's a big one. So I thought I'd spend a few hours here initially, and if we don't do any good we'll motor on downstream, park up at the next confluence for a while, and if we don't do any good there, work our way back up here. I've still got 4 days left, so I've allowed a little bit of time for fishing these big fish locations.